Hello, in this video I'm going to recommend a few lenses for a full frame camera. This is based on my personal experience. What works for me may not work for you, so that's a caveat. First lens I'm going to recommend is a 15mm prime lens. You can buy a f1.8 lens at very low cost. If you are on Nikon Z mount, congratulations, the 51.8f S lens is fantastic. Yeah, not F lens. S lens. It's a little bit expensive, a little bit large and heavy, but the image quality is top notch. So these are the pictures taken with a prime lens, 15mm. It can be used for landscape. You can also use them for portraiture. This picture was taken a couple years ago in Disneyland in California. It was New Year's Eve. You can see it's very dark outside, but with a prime lens, a full frame camera, you can still capture a very clean image of my daughter eating a hot dog. Another portraiture of my wife. This was in a restaurant. It's very dark inside, but with a 51.8 prime lens and a full frame camera, you can capture very nice quality images. So I recommended a prime lens to cover indoor low light situations and also for portraiture. You can also buy a dedicated portrait lens like 85, 135, 105, whatever, yeah. But they are secondary. The second lens I would recommend is actually a zoom lens, because as a hobbyist you do not have the luxury of just swapping lens all the time. It's too slow and you will have to carry too many lenses. A zoom lens sacrifices image quality in exchange for convenience. You can use many different solutions. One is the standard zoom like 24 to 70 or 28 to 75. You can use two lens solutions, one standard zoom plus one wide angle, or one telephoto. You can use three lens solutions, ultra wide angle lens like 16 to 35, then 35 to 150, which is the lens I recommended in a different video, and also 100 to 400. This is my current setup, three lens solution. You can also use an ultra super zoom, like Nikon recently released 28 to 400. This is a very interesting lens. I may buy it in the future. I will wait for some reviews. Yeah. So whatever works for you. Yeah. You need some zoom lens because as a hobbyist, you do not have luxury to zoom with your feet all the time. Like yesterday on a hiking trip, I was taking pictures. My daughter picked up a stick branch from the ground and started to beat me with it because she was impatient. Yeah. If you're traveling with our family, with the kids, she's in 6th grade, by the way. You don't have the luxury to zoom with your feet. Sometimes you just can't zoom with your feet, like there's a pile of dog poop in front of you. You're not going to step into the poop to take a picture, right? So a zoom lens allows you to zoom in, zoom out by twisting the zoom ring. It offers a lot of convenience. Now this picture was taken in Iceland. This was taken with a wide angle lens. You can see the mountain, the background, the glacier, my daughter in front of my wife. Because this is a wide angle lens, my daughter appears much smaller than my wife because the wide angle lens extends the space. Whatever is farther away from the lens appear much smaller than they really are. Another landscape photo with a wide angle lens. Wide angle lens. Wide angle lens. So landscape is one big use of wide angle lens. Indoor low light. This is taken with a 35mm f1.8 prime lens. So I recommend a 50. You can also go for a 35. 35 will extend the space, has distortion. So the second line in the far end actually is much larger than it really is when you look at this scene with your naked eyes. It appears much smaller because the wide angle lens extends the space, make the space look much larger than it really is. Street photography, wide angle lens. This is the 40mm f1.8 lens. The reason I took this picture is that this is the train station I used to work at. I usually take the train here every day, work day. Yeah, I worked for a company, so I want to take some pictures for memory. I usually do not take street photography with the people because I do not want to bother random people. Even though it's perfectly legal to take pictures from a public place, I'd rather not bother people. So street photography is not my forte. Yeah. Now I'm going to show some pictures taken with a telephoto lens. Telephoto lens can be used for landscape. It's not like they're just for wildlife and stuff. Landscape is fine. So Iceland, you can see the background, the mountains pulled much closer than they really are. Again, a telephoto lens for landscape. You can see the iceberg is in the middle of the lake, but with the telephoto lens you can get very close to the iceberg. The mountain in the background is also pulled much closer. So telephoto lens compress space. The two sheep in Iceland reindeer, for wildlife, a telephoto lens is a must because you can't get too close. Because once you get close to wildlife, they were scared away or they start to attack you, like a lion or a tiger. So you can compress of space. The islands in the foreground, they are far away, but with the telephoto lens, they are pulled much closer. This is a mountain, yeah, telephoto lens of snowy mountain. Squirrel, so telephoto lens for these little critters. Seabird, you can see because the telephoto lens, the shallow depth of field, the other birds in the background, they are kind of blurry, makes this kind of 3D pop effect. And if you don't have a dedicated macro lens, a telephoto lens can be used as macro lens to a certain extent. This butterfly was taken with 70-200 f2.8 lens. Obviously, you can also use it for portraiture. Telephoto lens is perfect for portraiture. This is my daughter at Cape Cod. And if a dedicated macro lens, you will be able to take pictures like these. I own a macro lens. Yeah, this macro lens, and I used it for like a couple weeks. Then it became a paperweight. Yeah. So that's my recommendations. So prime lens for indoor low light situations. Then you can have a standard zoom, have one lens solution, two lens solution, or super zoom, and you can use them whichever way you want. Also, there are portrait lenses which are great for portraiture. If you want to invest in those are good options too. But as I mentioned, as a hobbyist, you do not need a lot of lenses to take great pictures. Your skill matters much more than your gear. I have seen people using professional gear taking crap of photos. Yeah, that stupid composition and very ugly photos. Yeah, so your skill matters much more. Okay, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.